We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank
you. Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy. Before we get into this week's episode, we wanted to touch base with you guys, me and Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
So today is January 6th, 2021. And we wanted to touch on what happened in the Capitol today.
What happened was...
because, as you all know, Trump supporters did storm the Capitol building today.
It was a coup.
It was a coup.
Wait, what?
It's a coup. The P is silent. Kind of like when I go.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was coop.
Only if there's an E on the end, and that's a coop glass.
Like for chicken coops?
No.
Is that coop? Well, you got
coop
here.
Is COOP.
I don't even know. Anyway.
Yeah.
They came to the White House, y'all.
Or
no. The Capitol.
The Capitol. Not the White House.
We wish they
did. The Capitol building where they were about to recertify the votes, the Electoral College votes for President-elect Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
And they stormed it. There was barely any kind of security.
They walked in. Yeah, people are wondering, how did this happen?
There's actually a video of police opening up some of the barricades to just let people walk in.
There's a lot to unpack on the day. This is 6 hours later, 5 hours later,
right?
I think,
yeah.
And it's still like, what has happened? I don't even know.
I know that there was a woman who was shot, and she has died.
She was a protester, right?
I don't know who.
Okay.
On what side of it was. They said that everybody from Congress was able to get out.
Yeah.
And they were safe. But these people got all the way into the Capitol. Now
on the floor.
They
legitimately
went into
are
offices.
Yes. The whole where the people go and do the voting.
Right.
In the Senate and the House of Representatives chambers.
So a couple of years ago, we were in DC when the whole government was shut down, and we got to walk through the Capitol. We actually saw the plaque. They call it a plaque. It's like a piece of wood, but it says, House Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
People had ripped that down, and they were carrying it in some of these pictures. And
today.
Yeah. And then there was a guy who had his picture taken with his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on was photographed holding a piece of mail from Nancy Pelosi's office. Like, this is where we're at. Like, people are going in and taking federal documents. Like, who knows what they took while they were in.
It's a national security risk from our own internal people.
And there was a video of one guy, security guard, police officer, who was trying to stop the people from coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But
there were so many.
He was one person against all these other people. So he did try, but you see this in parallel to the Black Lives Movement.
Yeah,
Black Lives Matter movement.
We need to talk about that.
It's like night and day.
Yeah.
People
Absolutely
are like
nothing.
Well, and it's like, Trump supporters are all about, Black Lives Matter, burned cities down and looted targets and did this and that. And it's like, okay, this is your only argument. They didn't go into a Capitol and try to overthrow the government.
Federal building. Yeah.
Okay.
They might have burned a dumpster.
Right.
But they didn't go to the freaking Capitol building.
Well, and then they're like, well, what about when they went to, I don't know if it was Wisconsin or somewhere, but they were saying how Black Lives Matter and Antifa went to, and they're talking about Antifa as an organization. Just so you guys know, it's not an organization. But they were talking about how they did graffiti on this senator or somebody's house and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, but they didn't break any windows, and they didn't put any lives at risk.
And I'm sorry, people are vandalizing Nancy Pelosi's house, Mitch McConnell's house. That's happening right now already. Right. Despite the fact.
And nowhere in any of this did anybody say that, looting and everything was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're watching all these pictures and stuff of people carrying out like the speaker stand and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess looting is okay now.
Oh yeah. Totally fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm like,
I honestly was shocked. Like,
and the where they were holding, like, people were trying to get onto the Congress floor, and there were like Secret Service or something pointing guns at people, trying to keep them from getting in as they tried to evacuate Congress and stuff. It's like, it feels like we're living, and I'm not trying to be mean, or this is not to be offensive to anyone from this country, but it's like, are we living in Venezuela?
I was going to say that one of the things that I think that people fail to recognize is that Americans, as an American, as someone who is a United States citizen, we often look at other countries and are so shocked by the behaviors. We think, oh, we're so much better than a third world country. Are we? We have terrorism. We have people who don't have access to basic food rights and anything like that. We have white supremacy. There was another thing. Looting and all that kind of stuff. Like, no health care for people that need it. Are we really that much better off? I think this shows that we're not. Right. I think it's like, oh, we're so great. We're so great. America's so great. Like the president or whatever of Turkey, and like their government apparently is not so hot, but they tweeted or something and they were like, oh, wow, American, this is not what democracy is about. I'm like, are you like, you're the freaking president of Turkey, where y'all like throw journalists away into the like jails because they wrote a bad story about you, and you're like frowning upon America? Like, that should say something. Like, that should say something. But it's not. I think that I'm not surprised. And, days ago, he was basically calling people to go the Capitol building in the streets. And
yeah, because he wanted them to be there when they were recertifying the votes for the Electoral College to protest it, because he still thinks this is a fraudulent election. Which is fine.
Election. You can protest.
Oh, yeah.
There's a difference. I am all for, take a knee or stand out front. But
obviously taking a knee is too much for people.
Why?
Because they got all mad about people taking a knee, and but yet they're allowed to do this kind of stuff. They just
need a knee pad. There you go. If you guys need a knee pad, that's how you can
come
take a knee.
Come talk to the gays. We'll tell you about getting on our knees. Okay.
Yes. Like a prayer down on your knees. I'll take you there. But then he released that video as like
his speech,
a statement or whatever. And that was like, come on.
He didn't condemn anything. He made it about himself.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Trump. Is I think he doesn't really want to be president. He just wants to be in the public eye all the time.
Yeah.
Because he was just in Georgia yesterday.
Oh, for the runoff. Oh, yeah,
Monday.
we got to talk about those too.
Right. So, he was there supposed to be there for Loeffler and Perdue, but in actuality, for about an hour, he talked about himself and how he lost the election. It was stolen from him and it was fraud. But he did say one true thing while he was there, which is, I don't do these rallies for anyone else. I do them for me.
Really?
Right. So that is very telling in the type of person that you're dealing with.
I think we're all aware that he is not the most ideal human.
Right.
And I am, I understand that people come from different walks of life and that people have different motives and everything like that. And I try to see the good in people. But there's a tipping point, and I think we're all getting to that point where if you try to unravel our government, I'm like, I don't even really know a lot about government, anything. Like, they go to the Chamber of Commerce.
The only government I know is from like Conjunction Junction.
Oh my God.
No, sorry, not Conjunction Junction.
Yes.
It's Schoolhouse Rock.
I watched that. They updated it.
Oh.
But I learned about how
a bill gets then passed.
No, I don't know. But that's the bill goes to the House of Representatives and then becomes something else.
Oh,
I didn't finish the video.
Is it going through transitioning?
It is.
Transitioning? from a bill to a Betty?
Yes, that's what I was going for. Anyway. But yeah, no, I mean, look, it just I think that like today is a perfect cherry on top to 2021 or 2020, because we're only 6 days into 2021, and it's like, of course, right? Of course this happened. Are we surprised? No. I think what I am more surprised about, which I'm also not surprised about, is that it just happened and there was no policing. And also, like, shouldn't this be the most secure building?
Right.
Right?
You would think. Because any other time you try to go to the Capitol building, you cannot get in.
Yeah.
Like there's
so how
much
do these people get in? Right?
Right. Well, and to that, it like takes away from the fact that there was really great news today, which was like Georgia with Ossoff and Warnock winning both of it, and Ossoff winning by a very close margin.
0.2%, yeah.
Right. So that's probably going to come back, but we're just going to take the win while we can.
They'll recount. I mean, Georgia's like, they should be like getting a PhD in recounting. Like they need to go to get their PhD in mathematics because they're counting and counting.
Right.
Yeah, Georgia's recounted. They counted again. They're real good at counting. Now they're going to recount the other guys.
Recount.
Yeah.
But, and then, to also hide it, I think this was all generated by like Kris Jenner. Or you know what? No, it wasn't, because like if it was,
wait, like the Kardashians?
Yeah,
Kris
because
Jenner?
that Kim and Kanye announced that they're going for a divorce, right?
Oh, and that is the best news of 2021.
But did you hear the other stuff?
No.
Oh,
girl, I live under a rock.
So supposedly, Jeffree Star and Kanye had an affair. That's the rumor.
Wait. Jeffree Star,
I cannot verify, but I'm just saying I had heard buzz.
But Jeffree Star.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jeffree Star probably is worth more than Kanye, so let's be real.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Kanye West is, he ran for president.
All right, so what we're just trying to get at is that we had a lot of feelings today. I had a lot of feelings about it because it made me really anxious.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. You shouldn't be getting your government news from us.
No. Why not?
We are not
educate
experts,
yourselves.
But educate yourself and get out. And you know what? Even look at like other news.
Yep.
If you don't like Fox News, it's still a good thing to like look at what they're saying, because like
different perspectives.
They had a different perspective, and they were saying, unlike the BLM protests, there's no vandalism other than the breaking into the Capitol. That's what they had to say today. Yeah. And it's like, there's a little bit more than that. But you can kind of see how people are getting their information.
Yeah. Well, and then how a lot of Americans, right? And I can speak about this because I used to be one of them. They don't do research and they don't put in the effort, right? We have a lot of power as citizens of this country, and people don't think that. We have so much power as individual citizens, but it's like, oh no, my vote doesn't count. Oh, it doesn't do this. It is so much more important, and all of it matters. But you have to do your due diligence to do your research.
Right, because my favorite is like today people were like, oh, this guy who was seen here in the Capitol was also seen as a Black Lives Matter protest, as a supporter. And it was like the guy who was no t-shirt on with the Viking hat. And if I haven't already said this, please, gay people and women, stop fetishizing this guy. Like, seriously, stop it.
Oh, like who are the serial killers that everyone was about? The Bundy man?
Yeah, but also these are probably like the same people who still want to do Aaron Schock.
What is that? What does that mean?
Aaron Schock was the representative.
Oh my God. I thought air, like AIR space and shock. I was like, is this some party drug that people are doing? Like, yo, I'm doing Aaron Schock right now. Okay, are you? I don't know what the hell that is. Aaron Schock.
Or they're okay with like, these circuit queens going down to Puerto Vallarta during a pandemic.
I don't want it.
But like, but the guy, I was like, so tell me where you got this information that this guy is an actor or a plant. And they pulled up some like Facebook posts. And I'm like, God. Okay, your source cannot be Facebook.
Or Wikipedia. I mean, it could be Wikipedia, but like check your references.
Or The Onion. My favorite are when people post stuff and I go, you do know this is a parody, right?
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
They don't know. Oh, honey. Yeah, check your references and check your resources, because you as
check yourself.
Yes, have the ability to do it.
But, we want to go ahead. We just wanted to touch on that because it was very important, and it's something huge that happened today. And it's, part of history now. But we hope that you guys enjoy this episode. It's all about dating, and we had a great time recording this
yes, that's
while ago.
It's good.
All right, guys.
Get into it.
Thanks. Hey, all you tuggers and tugettes. I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe.
And we're These Unprecedented Gays.
This is true.
So, Joe.
I don't know why I did that. Whatever. I'm going with it. Yes,
He
Paul.
is flying off the cuff, everyone.
Oh my gosh,
I love it.
I feel like you're going to ask me $1 million question.
I am. How was your week?
You know, I love how you love asking how I'm doing.
Because I do love asking you.
I know. I can, and the listeners can tell. My week was great. Thank you so much for asking. Actually, a lot happened this week. I watched the Witches movie.
The
one
new
with
one?
Anne
The remake?
Hathaway. Yeah. Well, I didn't know it was not, or I didn't know it was a remake. Because I have HBO, and I didn't know.
And that's not human body odor, right?
I mean,
That's
sometimes. We're all humans. I mean, some of us are not. I mean, some people are extraterrestrials, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, E.T. phone home. But I watched it and I was not impressed. Have you seen it?
I have not, and I haven't watched the original with Angelica Houston, I think it is.
I don't recommend. It was just, I have Anne Hathaway. I love her in The Princess Diaries, but I don't love her when she does weird accents.
Oh, okay.
Like, did you see the Hustler movie with her and, what's her name? Rebel Wilson?
No.
Don't see it. You're not missing anything. You're really not. So I watched that movie. And then I am kind of a klutz. I think we've gone over that. Everyone knows, at least in my personal life, but for all the listeners, I'm very clumsy. So I slammed my finger in a cupboard, and then I subsequently laid on the floor for 5 hours because it was pain, you know.
Did you check on WebMD what you had?
Yeah. I unfortunately have what is called depressed finger syndrome. It's DF. I'm like DPS, DFS, and not like my finger's sad, but it's legitimately pressed down, you know. It's bruised. She's bruised. It's my middle finger. How fun.
Look, see it?
I just accidentally flipped it off. Yeah, but that was really my... Oh, I guess I didn't have that much...
How exciting.
I watched a movie and I stubbed my finger.
The reels abound, everyone.
What did you do? What are you doing?
I mean, we celebrated our anniversary. So...
Oh, yes, at Ambrosia. Right?
Why are you picking on ambrosia? I love ambrosia salad. That
Someone's
is
got
a
to.
Southern thing,
Well...
Yeah. And no, it's called Addison, and it's a restaurant here in San Diego, and it's the only Michelin star restaurant that we have in San Diego. And unfortunately, it was it left something to be desired.
Oh, Ampersand didn't deliver?
No.
Oh,
And they weren't that great. No. Is that what an ampersand is? Is that
I think
the
so.
answer?
I don't know. I'm just trying to find different ways to say Addison, Ambrosia, ampersand, at sign.
So, but yeah, no, it's
wasn't good.
It wasn't great. It's, unfortunately, and it's it is one of those things. And I think if we had gone, we've been trying to go to this restaurant for years.
Okay.
The first time we were supposed to go, it was for Valentine's Day. And we had to cancel that reservation because we had to go to Jersey for Andy's mom's funeral. Mm-hmm. And so we tried to 1 or 2 times after that to try to go. And I think if we had gone at that time in our lives, it would have been great. Mm-hmm. But because we've gone to so many great restaurants since then, it's just...
not so good.
Yeah.
Do you think it was... I think we have... this. I'm having flashbacks in an episode where... you went to France, right? And it didn't meet your expectations.
Correct. Yes.
Right? Would this be another kind of similar situation?
I think so. Yeah. It would
where
be,
you built it up and you're like, this is gonna be so good.
Yes, because it has such a reputation here in San Diego itself that it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you kind of built it up, and then you get there and you're like, oh, that's it.
Oh,
yeah, it's fine. Speaking of France, so we got an Instagram message from a listener, and his name is
Marcus.
And how do you know Marcus?
So we so I think I talked about him in another episode.
I think it was the first episode.
We met in air quotes on Scruff, right? And this is why I like Scruff, is because you can meet people from around the world. Super sweet guy. And then we would video chat, and then kind of fizzled or whatever, but I'll randomly just, say hi or whatever. And our last episode, was it the last episode or the episode before?
I know it was our fandom.
It was one of the episodes that we've done.
It was our fandom episode.
Yeah, where we, introduced our tuggers and tuggettes, and he messaged me, he goes, in Britain, tuggers is a term for pleasuring oneself. I'm being very non-explicit today. I'm trying to not be E-rating on this.
That's very the Queen's English.
I agree. I'm being very Mary Poppins when you please oneself. A spoonful of sugar and a little tug makes it all go down. Stop me. Yeah, so apparently that's a thing, and I was like, oh god, we're gonna have but we're gonna run with it. You know what? I think about it. We're giving people pleasure.
Exactly.
And they can pleasure themselves.
I feel like it's a beautiful, little, serendipitous moment where, everything that we've done with this podcast and the name and everything and how it's turned out, and we looked at it and we're like, oh yeah, this is really great, just because the name itself.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, these unprecedented gays, that's a little long. And I'm like, yeah, but it's TU gays. So it's two gays.
Or tu in Spanish.
We're
we
very
are bilingual.
Yes. And now with just the TUG tug, and our people called tuggers and stuff like that. So
we're just trying to spread the word and spread something else.
The word of the day is legs. Spread the word.
Amen.
But also, so I do want to talk about something new. We do have merch now.
What? You said what?
So we have merch with all of our little things like Tuggers Unite and Tugger Nation and stuff, like t-shirts, hoodies.
They're legit. They are so cute.
I love them.
They have what? We have face masks. Yes. I'm going to get one. So Paul sent this in a text message and was like, oh, hey, just take a look. And I legitimately opened up the website and was like, I want everything. They have tank tops, they have t-shirts, they have bags, they have cups, they have mugs, they have everything that you could possibly think of and more.
I know. It's like
socks.
I know.
I don't even wear socks.
Even yoga pants.
Okay.
I was like, okay, you want to wear us on your pants?
Is it on the crotch though?
One of us
our
might
faces,
be.
Right where the intersection of our faces, right where your precious
like
jewels
kissing.
are. Yeah.
So, but you could go to the website. It's teespring.com/these-unprecedented-gays.
And we can put this on
and we're going to put it on Instagram. We'll probably do a photo shoot at some point with our samples and everything.
Yes. I'll face mask it up.
Throughout San Diego. So you get
yes.
Linda Evangelista.
He is voguing right now. Ooh, he just death dropped. Didn't drop dead though.
Did you love my video with Bob the drag queen?
Oh yeah, on the Instagram page. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I feel like, again, I know that I said this in another episode, but that is one of the things one of my favorite things about you is when you do that, you just get this look. And I know it's coming, and I'm like, he is gonna vote.
I know, I get the fishy look.
Yes, I know. The cheeks pop out. You say prune without saying prune. Like Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Oh.
Yeah, it's how you get your cheeks to pop out. Yeah.
Oh.
Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, the Olsen twins, otherwise known as that, they said that how they get that face, which is, it's a thing that people do. Yeah, it's a face. Maybe that's just a face. Their face, they say prune. And it's prune.
Okay.
And then you get the model, cheekbone things or whatever. They have lots of cheekbones though.
Well, listeners, go out and try that next time.
And maybe eat a prune while you prune. Oh, that's
moving on.
Just go on the website and look at our merchandise. It's really cool. I definitely am impressed, and I think that you guys would like it too.
Yeah, and buy and talk about our podcast to everyone you know.
Yeah, and not even I'm assuming they look comfortable too. Or not assuming they look comfortable. I'm assuming they look comfortable. Man, I'm on a roll tonight. But I think that they're going to be good quality, and that's something that's also good. I want if I'm wearing a t-shirt, I want it to be comfortable.
If you want your face on it, you want it to be comfortable and good quality.
Tuggers Unite. Yeah. Well, pleasure yourself and unite.
All of us in the Tugger Nation.
We just got to get someone from Britain, and then just have them be like, what? Like, think about it if they have our shirts in Britain or like the Europe area.
So they're walking around, people thinking they're part of a nation that all they do is jack off.
Yeah. Yeah, jack it off, right? That's what they do. It's like, I mean, people do what they want to do.
Speaking of jacking off, it's our dating episode.
Oh my God. I was like, what? Where are we going in this one? Yes, dating. Dating is our favorite topic. It really is.
So we've had like some, we asked our listeners for stories and stuff like that. And you have some, I have some.
Yeah, we got a lot.
We even have some questions and things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should just like dive in. Do you want to talk about one of yours? Or?
Yeah, so I will say that what I posted on my Instagram was, hey, I reposted our Instagram post that was on our, on the tugayspod Instagram. There's a lot of Instagram words I just said. And I basically was like, please tell me your worst or best dating stories. And if they're the worst, like, it will make me feel better about my dating life. And I'm going to have to say that I feel very good about my dating life in relation to what other people have been through. And so I'm just like, oh, okay. It hasn't been that bad for me. I have been very privileged in my dating. Just like more lackluster, but none of these like horror stories. So I got 3. So the first one I'm going to read. Do we want to keep them anonymous or do you want to keep them?
I think we told them that we would, if they want to share it, we were going to say their name. And
so we can just shout out to our lands, our fans. Man, English. I think I need to go on Coursera and learn English. So my first one is from Travis, and it says, I went on a date when I was in college. I liked the guy and we hit it off. He asked if I wanted to come back to his place. I agreed. He was driving because I didn't have a car at the time, and so he asked if I could stop by his friend's house on the way to drop something off. Turns out he was selling his friend some cocaine. I got out and Ubered home. I would do the same thing, but also like I would be like, I'm kind of an accomplice to this, so can I get half of the money?
Well, I'm like, he's making money moves, y'all.
Yeah,
like, come on now.
Drug dealers make a lot of money. I mean, again, I'm not for it, but
right,
they got some dough over there. Dough.
I'm like, are we stopping somewhere for ice cream now? Because like you got money on you.
I mean, with that kind of money, you can get more than ice cream. I mean, you could get like gelato.
Oh, you fancy.
I love a good gelato. Do you like gelato?
I love gelato.
They have there's a place in Hillcrest, oh my God, what's it called? What's the French one on the corner of 5th?
Oh, Chocolat.
Yeah, I'm like Café de France. No. If only our French listeners would help us. No, they have one and it's called what's it called? It's like a Mexican chocolate one where it's got like the dark chocolate and then the my God, what is a red spice that's hot?
Like red
cayenne.
pepper.
Thank you. Oh my God.
We're gonna get there, listeners.
Hey, if I don't know the word, I will describe it. But it's got like that kick to it. It's really tasty. Anyway, I digress.
My favorite from them is their Grand Marnier one. So it has it's chocolate with like the orange liqueur, and then it has like I think orange zest in it. But it's great.
It's tasty.
So if you haven't been to the one, there's one in North Park called Ang's Dry Cleaning. I know it's a weird name for a gelato place, but they're really, really good, and they have a lot of vegan options.
Oh,
so shout out to my vegans!
Hey, what's up, vegans? Like, save the world, don't eat cows.
Ang's dry cleaning to go. I can't even. You're infecting me. I can't even speak right now.
I know it's. I will say totally unrelated to this, but related to this. Like I'm a terrible texter, and I think everyone knows that now because you posted on our Instagram. But I think it's infectious, and like I'll be talking to people and then they start having really bad texting capabilities. And I think it's the same with when I speak and it's like, and then people are like, oh, that's not going to happen to me. And then they're like tripping over their words. So you're welcome. But back on the vegan, is it like almond milk or?
I don't know what they use, but
I guess coconut.
Delicious. Coconut milk and stuff like that. I think they use. Oh. Yeah. My producer's trying to tell me something.
Rice milk?
Oh, interesting. I was like, ice milk, lice milk.
I feel like that'd be tough to milk a rice. I mean, they're so small.
Where are their udders?
Beats
How do you
me.
milk it?
I'm utterly confused.
Oh, boo.
Oh my God. I know okay, whatever. We're on topic and off topic. It's how we do it. Welcome to our podcast, whatever. Did you listen to the song from Aiden Zane?
No.
So we had did we talk about it in the Halloween episode?
Yes.
Okay. Where Aiden Zane had that little tag phrase or whatever. Tag phrase? Catchline. Tagline.
Catchphrase. Tagline or catchphrase?
Yeah, the tagline phrase catch it on a tag phrase. And she released a music video to a song called Boo, and no. That's all I'm going to say. No.
Okay. You know.
Back to dating.
It's not for everyone.
And
remember what Andrew said? Andrew Davis was like, it's just not for everyone.
Yeah, in his sweet little southern accent.
I know.
It may not be for everybody. That's okay. But it's for me, and that's great. And I love it for myself.
You sound like Leslie Jordan.
We need to get him on here.
I would love that.
Oh my God. Isn't he like 4 feet tall?
Yeah. And like
4 feet of magic.
And like, hey, all you hunker downers.
Hey, y'all, you hunker downers down here.
Well, shit.
Oh, man. Oh, here we go again. Oh, my. Okay. Anyway.
So I actually have a question from Matthew, and it's like a dating math. So Matthew is a friend of the show.
Oh, my
God.
Matthew.
Hey. Woo-woo. So he says, hey, my darling tugger aficionados.
Oh.
Like those big $10 words you're using, girl.
SAT, what's
Spell
up?
check.
I didn't do well on SAT or ACT.
So, do I have a question for you?
Ooh.
I have been out of the closet for 5 years now. Congratulations.
Yes, everyone, round of applause.
Yes, queen. Hopefully you got all that stuff out from the back of the closet with you too. Don't forget any of your clothes.
No one needs that.
And to say my dating experience has been uneventful is an understatement. My hookups have been sorrowful, and meeting up with some people is always so dreadful for me. What advice can you give a 28-year-old who wants a chance at romantic love? I'm tired of using Grindr and all those apps. Thanks, babes. The beast from the Middle East. Beast. That's my Alyssa Edwards.
I love that question, though.
It is true because it's like, being...
There's a lot to unpack.
Right.
Which I feel like we can offer advice to everybody.
Right. And it's like, okay, so you've only been out of the closet for 5 years. It is a process. Mm-hmm. Coming out never stops.
I remember I read that somewhere and it was really accurate.
Right, exactly. And you're 28, because he says his hookups have been sorrowful and meeting up with some people is always so dreadful for him. I would like to, probably ask, like, why does he feel that dread?
Mm-hmm. I think we have I don't think it's just the gay community. I think dating in general has changed a lot. And I think we touched on this in our first episode, where you have social media, you have all these other things, and it gets stressful. I mean, you have to be something. You put this profile out there, or you put this image of yourself out there, and then you have this layer of stress that's added on. I think my biggest tip to anybody who is asking advice on dating is be you, right? I know that sounds weird, but be authentically yourself, and that's it. You're going to go through people that don't want to be around you, and that's fine. I remember I read something somewhere, and it was, you may be too much for too many, or you may be too much for some people, and those aren't your people. And I always say, like, I'd rather be my authentic self and someone not like me than me be fake or not my authentic self, and then the person falls in love with me, and then it's not a real interaction. I think any kind of hookup can be intimidating anyway. I mean, that's just... I never was really into the hookup culture, so I can't speak to it.
Yeah, you can feel some shame after that.
For shame in being a gay man, refer to the Velvet Rage, new and improved edition, volume 2. But really, everyone should read it.
Well, but like, it is interesting because it's like, I think some people have this idea that because of social media and these apps, there's always something better out there.
Yeah.
And so you find something and it's really great, but then you think to yourself, oh, but could it be better with this person? Or I like the way that person looks, so that might be better for me.
It's the, it's like technology. It's the replacement. What is it? Like upgrade. It's when you get an upgrade, right? It's like upgrade, whatever you want to call it, where I have the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12 came out, but I'm totally fine with my iPhone 11. but I saw the commercial for the iPhone 12 and now I need it. And I gotta have it.
I want to get the iPhone 12.
I know, me too.
That's because I have an iPhone 6.
I mean, okay. I may be speaking from experience how I have an iPhone 11 and want the iPhone 12. So, yeah, but upgrade culture, it's a thing. And I think that it applies to dating. So
for me with Matthew's dilemma, I know you're over Grindr and stuff like that, but I think because I met my husband on an app, and we went about it a little bit differently because we talked and stuff for a couple of weeks before we actually met. And so it was really great. And and it doesn't happen for everyone. And that's a very small percentage of when that happens for people. So my thing, and especially right now in a pandemic,
during a pandemic. But you can I don't want to say weed people out, but you can sift through people and really kind of do that courting virtually.
Right, exactly.
And have FaceTime dates or whatever. And I feel like it kind of takes off the pressure. I know I don't like FaceTiming, but if you get a little nervous or anxious from meeting somebody in person, it might be a layer of a little extra cushion and security that you're like, oh, I don't have to put on pants to meet this person.
I just don't want him to give up because that's the big thing, just don't give up because there is somebody out there for you. And even if you are out there meeting people and it doesn't work out, you never know if that person is going to turn into a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And timing's everything. And I think I've always thought when you look for something, you don't find it, but when you're not looking, when it slaps you in the face.
And that might be what you need at that moment. So yeah, kind of it might slap you in the face. Are you talking about a hookup?
I don't hook up, so no. But yeah, I think that that happens when I go grocery shopping or when I'm going shopping for a t-shirt or something. If I look for it, I never find it. But then if I just swing by on the way home, I'm like, oh my God, look at all these things.
Well, I mean, for me, I would meet people because I come from, I'm older than you. So I come from
not much
back in the day. So I used to be
by a year.
Wow.
In spirit.
Yeah. Times 15.
She's a young soul. Times math, everybody.
I know. Because I'm Asian. So anyway. So I actually met so I would have to meet people in clubs and bars and stuff like that. And I met this guy Ryan in a club in Orlando, and we kind of hooked up, and it just didn't feel right to either one of us, but I still pursued a friendship with this person, and he became a really good friend for a while, and we're still in contact to this day. Mm-hmm. So it's that might not been what that situation was going to be, but it turned into something that I needed for a while, and that was great.
Yeah.
So don't give up, Matthew.
Keep hanging in there. I know this is cliche, but really, it's true. Be patient. Be authentic.
Be open.
Yeah, be honest.
And don't forget to look in other places. There's Facebook groups of people that have your same interests. So if you do have an interest in stuff, join one of those. It might, even a gay one might, it might spark something.
Yeah, you never know what'll happen.
Exactly. So, do you have another story from a listener? Okay, go ahead.
From another listener, from another tugger or a tuggette. Actually, this is a tuggette.
Oh.
So this is from my Aunt Heidi. Hi, Aunt Heidi.
Heidi ho.
And so when I read this, I was like, oh boy. So this is what made me feel good about my dating life. And so she said, a girl we know and love met a guy at a coffee shop and they started talking. She mentioned she was moving the next day and he offered to help, which he did. So she felt compelled to go on a pity date. They went skating and then had Mexican food. This is, red flags when it comes to Mexican food. Yeah, because
gays don't have Mexican food on the first dates either.
No, I think this is
for
a straight
different
couple.
reasons.
Yeah. So, and then she goes to say, while browsing through the Lazy Boy store, her food poisoning kicked in. She threw up in the guy's car all the way home for 40 minutes. They ghosted each other immediately.
Okay, so there's some things that I want to unpack here.
Okay.
I'm you went skating. And then you went to the Lazy Boy store.
It's I don't know.
Or maybe you didn't get a recliner.
Indiana, North Carolina. You never
know. What
know.
People into?
Maybe it was one of those vibrating chairs.
Oh,
right.
Then what does she need him for?
You never know. Extra cushion stuff. But I felt that's when I'm like, oh, okay. I have never had that happen to me. I mean. Yeah. I just feel like any bodily function that happens is not the best on a date.
I mean, it depends on the bodily function, I think.
I get, okay, that's true. There are some that are better than others.
Right, exactly.
But most of them, probably not so good.
Okay.
Like when you puke in a car for 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, nice to meet you. Here's my insides.
I'm going to just put my DNA all over here, not the way that you wanted it, though.
Yeah. You are not the father.
So, I have another dating question /
oh, geez, okay.
dating story. Yeah.
Okay.
So this one is from Christopher.
Okay.
And he's like, dating question followed by story.
Okay.
How do you end a bad date or a date with someone you just don't connect with? The reason I ask is because I have a terribly difficult time saying no on a date.
Don't we
it's
all,
just the
sweetie?
date,
Paul, not the after date.
Then you're not dating right.
What kind of dates were you going on?
I gotta get my stuff in first, and then we can go on a date.
Oh my god! Let's have coffee.
So anyway, that's code.
Oh, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
I'd say no on a date, which has resulted in some excruciatingly awkward times. By the time I actually meet someone in person, especially during quarantine, I've typically been talking to them for a while, so I've invested a lot of time and am already feeling a connection. So when I actually meet and it's lackluster, or they are very different in person, I still feel obligated to keep the date going and give it the old college try.
No. That's what it is called. Oh my God. I've been trying
to
figure that out. Oh my God. For 2 weeks, I've been like, give it a good old umpire's try. Like, give it a good old whatever try. Thank you, Chris. Oh my God.
Thank you, Chris. It's infotainment.
I'm going to sleep good tonight because it's been killing me. Anyway.
Oh, good. We're very happy.
The sarcasm in that I couldn't sense.
So I was talking to a guy a while ago and we really connected, so we agreed to meet for brunch. It was clear on my end it wasn't a match, but nevertheless felt obligated to give him a chance and spent the next 10 hours slightly tipsy with this person, knowing it was going nowhere. 10 hours? Yeah, 10 hours of pushing him in the friend zone. 10.
Not across the board.
Not across the board.
Okay, hold up. I'm gooped America. So, man, that's
for me, that's a long time. And I'm like, and if you already knew ahead of time,
yeah,
it was one of those things where, like, for me, I don't have a problem with saying, oh, you know what? This isn't going to work.
I think you and I are similar. So what I recommend to people is don't have dinner, don't have a meal. Meet for something like go for a walk or meet for coffee, because it is very brief. And you can know if you're good and you know like yourself and you know like vibes or whatever, like you'll know if you meet the person and if you're into the person, whether or not you're going to want to give it an hour or not.
I think for a lot of people, it's because we associate dinner with being romantic and dating and stuff like that. That's where our initial, this is what we're going to do kind of kicks in.
Society.
And you're right. It is better to go for like, hey, why don't we meet at Starbucks and grab a coffee? Or, well, we can't do that right now because you can't really do it.
You go for a walk. But the thing is, like, don't invest time. Like, very, very brief amount on the first interaction. You know what I mean?
And then not only that, but if you go for a walk, then it really does, like, it's like, okay, so this is the amount of time that we're going to spend together. It doesn't have to keep going on.
Yeah. And I've said
unless you wanted to.
Well, that's the thing, right? I think what I used to do is, hey, let's meet for coffee. And I've had plenty of times where it's like, I'm not feeling this, I'm not feeling it. And it'll be like an hour and I'm like, okay, well, hey, I got to get going. I got to go run some errands. Or, hey, I got to get back to do something, right? And then I end it like that. I'm not just like, I'm not feeling this, I'm going to go. So I'm like somewhat nice-ish about it. But for the most part, I never do a meal. Because that's an investment. That's like an hour and a half. And if you're not happy and you're not feeling it, then you're just like, okay, cool. Like, it's because mostly I've had bad dates that have been meals. So I'm like kind of scarred.
Well, it's very funny because you do like your coffee dates, because I remember me and Andy were walking
Oh
through.
my God. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. So I was on a date at Subterranean Coffee. Rest in peace. It's gone because of COVID. But it was a coffee date and we were outside. And this was a neighbor that used to live above me in my old apartment. And I thought he was straight. And then I found him on an app and I was like, wait a minute, you're not. And then I was like, oh my God, what? And I was in a relationship. He wasn't, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, we're on a date. And Paul comes walking down because you guys were going to Moe's.
Yes.
And Paul comes walking by and he scares the crap out of me. And I'm like,
because I do that because we're friends.
But yeah, because I wasn't. And then you went and got like your one drink or whatever. And then on the way back, he was like a little tipsy. He was like, how's it going? Oh my God.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Hi.
So, but I'll do like a coffee date because I'm just like, it's a quick, easy, like, again, 45 minutes, an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And I've had coffee dates that turn into 10-hour dates.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've had those things that happen. But I'd rather it be, here's 45 minutes, and then I can keep extending it.
Right.
You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to pay the parking meter 25 more minutes. Okay, cool. Right. Then, oh my God, like I'm like flabbergasted.
Yeah, I'm like, that is a long time to be with somebody that you don't have a connection with.
Yeah.
And maybe because you're with that person for 10 hours, maybe you did have a connection and you just didn't see it that way because of the mindset you went in with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I am very much a person who is just going to be upfront, and I have the same respect for people who do that back to me.
Yeah.
And so there have been times when I'm like, I have been on apps and I'm like, they get there and I'm like, actually, you know what? I can't do this. You look nothing like your photo. Like,
oh my God.
No, boo.
Like, I don't think I've ever, like, that's never happened to me, but I've definitely like played the whole, oh, I got to get going, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And I get that because you're trying to like not hurt somebody's feelings, but I'm also like, I don't want anything else to get in the way of what I'm trying to tell you. Like, we're not gonna work out.
So, but after I do that, then I usually send a follow-up text.
Oh, girl. Like an exit interview?
Yeah. Like, hey, it was really nice to like hang out with you. I don't think we're a match. And then best of luck in your endeavors.
Could you please rate your experience?
Here's a survey from Survey Monkey. Oh my God. But it's like super cut and dry. Like, you know, I enjoyed getting to know you. Thank you so much. Yeah. That's all yeah. Do you have another one?
I do.
Oh, wait. That was, okay. Wait, so, was that the story too and the question?
It was a story and the question.
So wait, did we answer the question?
I did.
Yeah, tell them don't. Basically, if you're not into somebody, sorry about it, not sorry about it.
So I do have a bad dating story from my friend Ty.
Okay.
Hi, Ty.
Hi, Ty.
I once met a guy online, 35-year-old woman here. Oh. That's not me, that's her.
Oh.
Thank you for putting your age. Just own that, girl. Like,
ASL.
Live in that.
Right?
What is ASL?
Age, sex, location?
Oh my God! Oh my God! You were kicking it old school,
or American Sign Language, depending upon the application.
Yeah, but no, like on
AOL
like,
chat rooms,
and Adam for Adam and Gay.com. That would be like, hey, looking ASL, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, age, sex, and location. So it's like, how old are you? What are you?
And then where
are you?
And then the fourth question was always like, how big?
But I was so scared of the chat rooms when I was younger because I was like deathly afraid that they were going to find out where I lived via the internet. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. I mean, and now people are putting their freaking addresses online. Like we've come a long way.
Right. And I'm like, and see, I used to have to do like classified ads. And like you would call or you would write in and that person would then like give you their phone number so you can call them. And I was young. I was like 16, 17 and stuff, if not younger. And I was like doing this. So I would have to walk down to the corner convenience store and call from the payphone.
Stop. Did you call them 1-800-COLLECT?
No. But like
you took your 25 cents and you made it work.
I'm like, but we really couldn't talk dirty or anything. And I'm like, out at 9:00 at night at a payphone down the street.
At the convenience store.
At the convenience store. I picked up a Mountain Dew and was like, hey, how are you?
Climb every mountain.
But funny little thing. We're going to get back to Ty here in a second. But like, I actually met a teacher that I had a crush on at elementary school.
Stop it.
On one of these.
Were you of age?
What?
Were you of age? We won't talk
about that.
For legal reasons, our lawyers that we don't have will tell us not to.
But I was like in science and like sixth grade, he was my science teacher, and he had just had my older sister like in his classes and stuff like that. So I thought he was the cutest thing. And then years later, I found him on a classified ad, and I go over to his house. And we, you know, do our thing. And we got jiggy with it. I'm like, I am shook. I know.
But also, like, live your life. Good for you.
Like, fantasy come true. Like,
seriously.
People have teacher fantasies.
I know.
And the funny thing is, he goes, you look familiar.
He didn't know that you knew?
He didn't know that I knew who he was.
Oh, my God.
And then afterwards, he was like, oh, yeah. And I also taught both of your sisters. And I'm like, yep, you did. Thanks for teaching me a little something.
I mean, class might have been closed, but school was in session.
I love that. I was hot for teacher.
Oh, you were. And he was hot for you. Naughty schoolboy over here.
So back to Ty.
Hey, Ty.
I once met a guy online, but at the time was like probably like 26-ish. Agreed to meet up at a restaurant. I show up on time. Good for you. But he's already there and drinking. I assume maybe it's because he is a military guy. They are early to places and didn't think much of it. He then proceeds to drink a lot at dinner. Oof.
Oh, God.
I figure he's nervous or something and doesn't seem to be super drunk, so I just roll with it. After dinner, he invites me to hang out and watch a movie, Netflix and chill, with him at his barracks room. He lives on base. In your barracks room? Isn't that like
I don't know what that means.
I think that's like a community place too. Like,
are you allowed to go back?
I don't know, but she's also military, so maybe she still has her military ID. I don't know.
We're gonna have we have follow-up questions for you, Ty.
I guess you can, because Nick, who knows all about this, is like nodding yes. You can't go back.
Our producer. Okay.
Yeah. So he lives on base. Now I'm a little skeptical, but young me was always trying to be nice about things, so I agree. But with the caveat that girl, look at you. I even pronounced it right. I was
caveat? I thought
caveat.
you were getting I thought you were reacting to the grapes being thrown across the room. I'm being graped.
Oh. Where's your whistle? Your grape whistle.
It's a dog whistle. No one can hear.
Cooper didn't move, so
is Cooper deaf?
So, but with the caveat that I can invite my friend over too, because I might have been ignoring the red flags, but my gut was telling me to at least play it a little safe. He says, that's cool. So I enlist my best gay guy BFF, who shows up, thank goodness. So we all head from the restaurant to his barracks. We get to his room and it's disgusting. Typical messy, dirty room. And he is still just nonchalantly drinking like a fish. By this point, my friend and I are looking at each other like WTF and giving each other the let's get out of here signals. Drunk guy then starts out the fact that one has nowhere to sit, like a couch or table area, so we will have to all just lay in his bed.
Oh, God.
Oh, he wanted something to happen, girl.
Uh-huh.
Even with a friend there. Okay.
In his caveat.
Yes. 2, he forgot he loaned out his Xbox to a buddy, so we will have to watch the Lion King DVD on his tiny little laptop. Is that code? Tiny little laptop?
I mean, they're just trying to do the circle of life.
Okay. All up in your face. So many weird things already, so many questions. He lays down to watch this movie with us and then is now drunk enough to just not care, apparently, and starts drinking vodka out of the bottle straight and chasing it with Bloody Mary mix, also straight from the bottle. No glass, nothing. And casually offers us the bottles as if he's being hospitable.
Oh my God.
Thankfully, it didn't take long for him to pass the fuck out entirely, and we were able to sneak out unscathed. Never again saw him. I'm like,
that's a lot.
There's another one where it's like, you've had quite a bit to drink at dinner. I don't feel like we need to continue with this.
I think a lot of things can be solved, these bad dates, by just like saying how you feel. It's like, oh my God, I can't not go home. Yeah, you can. If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Girl, there are so many red flags. I thought it was a drum corps competition.
It's like I'm like trying to think of flags.
My husband's a drum corps nerd, so I threw that in there for him. Love you.
What's drum corps? Educate the kids.
Drum corps is this where it's
like drumline.
it's sort of like drum lines and stuff, but they also have the full bands and everything. Kind of like what you would see in the middle of a football game.
Okay.
They come out and they do these numbers
Like
and they dance and they have flags and they, and twerking.
Oh my God. The color guard.
Yes, they're kind of like the color guard, only larger. And these are made up of groups from around the world. Certain people want to play with certain groups. So they're not technically schools. They're just areas.
Drum corps?
Yeah, drum corps. And they even are like, there's a whole thing. It's international. They have it every year in Indianapolis, drum corps international finals and stuff like that. So we've gone to a couple because I love my husband. And then I got something else out of it. So I'm happy about that. A little tit for tat, if you will.
Well, there you go.
But, yeah, so Ty, I thank you for your story that I don't, Lion King on a small little laptop.
There are a lot of things wrong with, I don't want to say wrong, but there are a lot of things that
And I think maybe he was drunk enough that something might have happened with the gay BFF if they had pushed him a little bit.
But also it just kept getting progressively worse.
Yeah.
It's oh, he was already drunk when I arrived.
And I know people are
strike one.
Right. And people are oh, just trying to be nice. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Okay, sometimes feelings just need to get hurt.
That's how people end up dead.
Right.
Because then they're with a serial killer. I just didn't want to hurt his feelings.
He was such a nice guy.
Oh my God. Interviewing their ghost. I was just I really wanted him to be happy. No, bitch, run away.
I really thought this was the journey for me.
Yeah, journey to the grave. Oh, yo.
So, do you have another one?
Yeah,
right?
I have one last one from Anthony. And so he says he met online and then met for drinks and then told her he was interested in her after one drink, and then he went home. And 7 minutes into his drive home, she calls me crying on the phone and called him an asshole. He turns around and talks to her to make her feel better. And then she offered her a blowjob and then declined.
Oh.
And it apparently was, abrupt, and then he went home again.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just oh, sounds like an emotional roller coaster. Hey, let's go on a date. Oh, I have feelings for you. Okay, bye. Wait, come back. What? Oh, here, let me suck you. D. Your D. Suck.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. That sounds like kind of my dates. That sounds like a gay date. I don't
when you go in on your coffee shop. Hi, nice to meet you. Is that your mouth? Here's my downstairs. There you go. With our merchandise on there. Yeah. On those yoga pants.
That's funny that you say that because I have a story here that kind of has the same ending as yours.
Okay.
So we can combine them as we talk about them. But this is from Jan. She's a friend of one of our producers. She is living her Jantasy.
Jan, not Jan Sport, just Jan.
Just Jan.
We don't we like Jan, this Jan, but not the other Jan.
Right. Exactly. So it was a long time ago in my late 20s. I went out with this guy who asked me to dinner and a movie. He showed up in a car that was missing its windshield. What?
Wait.
It was covered in saran wrap. How did you even get by? So
wait,
we have a lot to
okay.
We have a lot to unsaran wrap at the end of this already. So I refused to ride in his car, so I ended up having to drive. He took me to Sonic for dinner.
Okay.
But did he let you get the large at least, girl? I love Sonic. I will eat out of some Sonic.
Yeah, we got one over here now, don't we?
We do. So while we were waiting for our food, he proceeded to list about 6 or 7 girls who he had asked out before me that turned him down. We about to throw hands now.
Me and Paul both legitimately just gasped and lost our will to talk at the same time. We were Cooped America.
When the food came, he did not waste any time digging in. He was the loudest chewer I have ever heard.
Oh no.
It seriously sounded like a stampede. The chomping, the nom nom noises he was mumbling. And he was finished with his extra large fries, triple burger, and shake in approximately 3 minutes. I looked over and he had food all over his shirt. Then because I didn't inhale my food, he ate all my dinner too.
Oh my God.
I should have taken him home, perk of driving. Sadly, I took us to the movie theater.
Oh my God.
He was wearing cargo pants. I feel like that's foreshadowing. So during the movie,
what was in the pockets?
During the movie, he pulled some carrot and celery sticks out of his side pocket and started eating them.
Stop.
No, they were not in a baggie. They were just collecting lint in his pocket.
Oh my
He
God.
offered me some. I declined, thank God. He said he refused to pay movie theater prices for snacks.
Okay. I'm sorry, but lint is not something you eat.
Imagine the sound of this crunchy snack when
my
his
God.
burger and fries sounded like a stampede.
He'd do great on ASMR.
Right. This was like going into a shooting range. Then after he finished his snack and interrupted everyone's movie with that, he fell asleep and he was snoring so loud that the entire room was shaking.
Oh my God.
On the way home, he started
It's still going. Okay. Jan, you need to never date. Jeez.
Right. On the way home, he started to tell me that now that I am his girlfriend, we have to think of free dates because he had just lost his job because he had been accused of sexual harassment. I thought it was because he ate too loud in the employee break room, but okay. So then I had to break up with a guy that thought a first date was a committed relationship.
Oh my God.
He didn't understand why. I know.
It's
like so much.
Again, this is great for my ego because my worst dates are like they pale in comparison.
Yes, you got that right. Yeah,
Yeah,
girl. Okay.
I was like, I almost said they fail in comparison.
Yeah, no. Thank God you didn't say that.
That I
See, now I feel like I don't have these like stories because if that person had shown up with some ran wrap on their windshield,
I would have
been
turned
like,
around.
How did you even get here safely? Like, you can go back home now because we're not having this date.
No, I mean, there's a lot. Okay, first and foremost,
I don't want no scrub.
No, or some cellophane. Some cellophane scrub.
Okay.
That's just like how I'm like thinking, how do you saran wrap your windshield enough so it doesn't come like, and how do you see through it?
Right, exactly. And then I'm like, so you don't have a car. And then I'm wondering if she paid for dinner at Sonic and forgot to mention that.
Oh,
there's probably a good chance that she did.
She didn't get to eat.
And she probably paid for the movie too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I think that was where she went wrong, right? Dinner, great. And then she should have turned around and been like, thank you so much. Goodbye. But then she had to go to Mr. Chomptown and like get his cargo shorts and carrot celery mixture. And then that was another thing.
Did he think that was like trail mix or something? You know what would have been better? What would have like took this story over the
fried
edge?
chicken?
No, is if he had ranch in another pocket.
Oh, I love.
Oh my
ranch.
God, we see a picture of Jan.
Oh, Jan's cute.
Yeah, she is living her fantasy. And can I just tell you, she is drinking a Miami Vice, which is a daiquiri and a pina colada mixed together, because that was my drink of choice whenever we went, like when we were in Panama, when I was in Cabo. Really, if you go, have a Miami Vice. You won't regret
it. Recommendations.
She is gorge.
Well, Jan, hopefully you've had better dates since.
Yeah, and hopefully, you've learned how to say no to people. Like...
It's that, yeah. I think I think what we've learned today is don't keep the date going if you don't want it.
Right. And
if people have saran wrap windshields, you might want to just keep walking past.
They can't see you anyway.
Yeah, they can't see.
But here's a question for you. And because I know we're getting close to being to the end, but if somebody asks you out on a date or you ask somebody out on a date, who pays?
So that's why I do coffee. Okay. Because I buy my own coffee, or if they want to buy their coffee, you did not invest a lot. It's $3.50, maybe.
Oh. What are you buying? Because mine's like $7.
Girl, we know you get your mochaccino, waka waka, chaka waka, extra whip, cream caramel, add a shot, mix it, blend it, upside down. Oh, it's just kidding. It's a Dairy Queen Blizzard. Let's flip it upside down.
Oh, I really want a Blizzard now.
My favorite part is when they do the upside down inversion
just so
thing every single time. And it's it's kind of like, yo, look, I'm so cool. I blended this, and it's just like I'm a show off to you. And all the high school students are like, I'm so cool. Look at me, yeah. I ate
it over my head.
I ate that shit up though. I was like, oh my God, it doesn't come out. I was like, oh my God. That was me. Yeah.
Okay, so separately then. You're saying.
Yeah. Or split it. You know what I mean? I think that's always a hard thing. Again, that's why I don't do dinners. I'll do like a second date. Like if I have fully vetted these people and I'm like, okay, all right, like I can invest time. I think there might be something. And then the next time's dinner, I'll be like, well, let's split. I always say like, let's split.
Right.
And then if they're like, oh, no, I insist, I'll be like, okay, that's fine. Or like if I'm feeling, like on a pay or whatever, then that's that.
See, for me, I'm always like, if I asked you, then I'm going to pay.
Oh.
And if you asked me,
okay,
then I'm expecting not to pay.
There you go.
That's in my head, that's my thinking.
That makes sense.
And I've had...
If everyone thought that way, that would be great.
Right, exactly. I mean, there have been times when I've had like that awkward moment when the check came and I'm like,
are you going to get that?
I'm like, you didn't reach for your wallet. I'm not paying for this because you asked me. Like, I will dash and dine. I drove here.
Oh my God. So do you want to, I think we should tell our worst date stories.
Okay.
Do you have one?
You know what? I don't.
So the worst one that I've ever had, and I vividly remember it because it was a dinner date. Again, I don't do dinner. I was living up in the Bay Area. And so I met this guy at a sushi restaurant, and it was a super cool restaurant because it had the sushi boats that went around on the water and you would like pick up off the things.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. Great restaurant. I'm trying to remember his name. I don't.
It's okay.
Yeah. So, but it was super fun, in the beginning for like the first 5 minutes. And then he was like, he kept grabbing all of the plates or whatever and was getting lots of drinks. And I was like, I'm going to have water. Thank you. I'm going to get like one little boat, maybe an empanada. Nope, not an empanada, a dumpling, a gyoza. And what made it worse is he was on Snapchat the whole time. So I felt like I was just sitting alone and he was like over here doing his thing and like eating and then like maybe answering one question. And so like progressed 35 minutes in and like, I'm like not feeling it. And so I like give the look to the waitress and like, give me the check. Right. And so she drops it off and he goes, oh, are you going to get that?
Oh.
And I look at him and I'm like, I ordered 2 of these little things. You literally got 14 different things and like 7 beers. I'm going to pay for mine and then I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of your time here. And so I gave my $20 and then I walked out.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I don't do dinner dates, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's...
See, I don't have anything like that.
What about your best date? Because I have a good best date.
See, my best date was...
It's every day with your husband, yeah.
And every time I go out with my husband, he's amazing. He's gorgeous.
Did he stone his tights?
He stoned his tights. No, actually, you know what? He did do... The best date actually was our first date, and we had been talking for 2 weeks, and then he invited me over to his place.
Oh.
I know. But then he made dinner for me.
Oh.
And he wasn't sure why he did it. He's like, I never had made dinner for somebody on a first date before. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. And he had this beautiful giant deck.
Oh, is that for some? He had a big deck.
He got a big old deck, y'all. And I was out on it all night long.
Oh yes. Ooh.
But
spread that deck.
But it was a hardwood deck.
Ooh. That's better than some nasty ass particle board shit. You don't want no particle board deck.
But like we had a great time and stuff like that, and then we just like, spent more time with each other. So it kind of like was a first date that just lasted because he did try to break up with me at one point. Like
on
a
the
couple
date?
weeks. No, a couple weeks later, we were just talking and I was like, yo, do you want to go see a movie? Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I need to have a talk with you. I think you want more than what I can give. And I'm like, okay. He's like, but maybe we can still be friends and stuff. And I'm like, okay, but like, just so you know, I'm irresistible.
You said that.
I said that verbatim to him.
Simply irresistible.
And he said, oh, I think I'll be okay. And I'm like, you have been forewarned. And where are we now?
Married.
Exactly.
Also in our studio / living room. On the couch.
All right, so your best.
So my date, I was chatting with this guy I met on Grindr, but we didn't actually meet. And he was in med school, I think. I was in college and I think in my last year. So senior year. I was like, what's that? Yeah. And we've been chatting back and forth. And then he's like, I'm going to pick you up and then basically like surprise you where we're going to go. I think it was a surprise. Maybe I'm making it up. So we ended up going to Disneyland.
Oh!
Well, I had a pass. He had a pass. It was fine.
Oh.
So, but like, it was like super cute and like super sweet. And then,
well, and it gave you guys something to talk about because you obviously both like Disney.
But we were there, like, talk about like a 10-hour day. Like, it was an instant, like, okay, like I can spend the whole day. It's fine. Right. And then, I remember we went to Tortilla Joe's, which is in downtown Disneyland. And I, pigged out on the chips because that's what you do. And then it was just like a really nice day. And then it went into the evening. We watched Fantasmic on the Rivers of America. If you're familiar with Disneyland, I like Disneyland. I'm ready for it to open up in 2025. So, but then we went back to Redlands, which is where he was living, and nothing happened, but it was just like really pleasant. And I was like, this is super sweet. Yeah.
Aww, that's such a good note to end the episode on.
Yeah, it was like really innocent, really pure. And I mean, there were not only fireworks in the air at Disneyland, but there were fireworks in our hearts. Oh. That's and so cheesy.
And we hope that to all you tuggers, you have fireworks in your heart.
Yeah, because baby, you're a firework. Come on, show them what you're worth. Make them go, oh, 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 oh.
That's a whole other episode. If you're going to make them go, oh, oh, oh.
Yeah.
I got tips for that, though.
Oh, yeah, we know. On your first date. Yeah.
So, everyone, thank you for joining us this week. We appreciate it. Don't forget to check out our merch.
Stories too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Get the merch. Look at the merch.
Yeah.
Take pictures with the merch. Tag the merch. Hashtag whatever you want to hashtag, and let's get it trending.
And thank you for the stories and everything. We're gonna put out another one here soon for some more stories of different topic and everything. But we love the interaction with you guys.
Yes, and it makes us happy. Me happy because I don't have bad dating stories. But for all of you, Jan, girl.
Yes.
I hope you found love. And
in another place.
Yeah.
In a lonely place.
A hopeless place.
In a hopeless place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it hopeless?
We found love in a hopeless.
I think it's hopeless.
It is in our minds.
Yes. Rihanna hasn't released music, so we're good. Okay. That's what we got to go on.
All right, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you. Bye. Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.